Abstract. Take 1. I am a great fan of a type of art called abstract. Personally, it's my strong suit when it comes to art. It's very easy to do. You have a piece of paper. You always start out as if it were writing. You take and you measure your lines. You don't always have to have it straight. And if you just follow where your hand guides you, you'll eventually get to do what you want to do. You just have to trust in yourself. Many people find that very hard, considering that they don't have faith in themselves. But no matter who you are or where you come from, you should have faith in yourself, because you can do things even if other people say you can't. I like to do a 2-distance era where you see 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, but this one only has 2. I like doing that because it helps me measure things. It helps me keep track of how much I'd use and how much lead. It's a very interesting tactic. I also like to cover up lines, kind of like that. It gives it a weird image. But of course, weird images are okay in abstract. You never have to have something that looks like a diamond ring. Nothing too detailed, nothing too fancy. Kind of like this. After a careful placement of lines, this is what I got. Now, if you like what you see, then we should probably continue to phase 2. This was just phase 1. First phase. You get comfortable with what you're drawing with. No matter what kind of style, you should always be comfortable, either with the pen, the lines, the movements. You should always be comfortable and adjust to what you're doing, no matter what. It's the greatest thing you can do for your own art. Now, how about we set a boundary line? Every artist says that there are no limits. Well, I like to use lined paper. It helps me contrast with how many lines, where they go, and how much lead I use. Now, I like to use the red line as like a danger zone mark. You don't go past it. Although some artists may think differently, but this is how I use it as a tactic. It helps for some artists because if you go past it, it won't look as neat because something just went through it and made another line mark. And what if you didn't want that line mark there? Now, if you will let me, let's proceed to the next page of our work. As you can see, I did some art earlier. Here is a blank, fresh page. Now, if you're a writer, like myself, you like to use a good fine print, correct? Like, say, she walked alone. Say like something like this. You're basically doing abstract. This could be considered as a curved line. Abstract is not just a type of art. It's more than that. It's more than one art put together. It's an amazing kind of cultural collage, especially when it comes to shapes. Shapes is the best thing about when it comes to the form of abstract. One of the most beautiful things you could do. Now, as I said earlier, this is phase 2. Phase 2 is often think of what you're going to do first and think of rules, boundaries, and understanding of what you're going to do. Here we go. I have just written down the 5 variables. Well, the 5 variables that I know, and the 5 variables that I think would be good tactics for beginners like you. Or if you're more advanced, that works too. These are also very good for advanced and beginners. As I say, just have faith in yourself. First, boundaries, so that your art won't be tampered with later on in your adjustments. Adjust. Some art styles are hard to do, so I suggest you use the shape or line structure that suits your style or is easier for you to draw, and that your hand feels comfortable with maneuvering to draw this element for the drawing that you. No, you shouldn't try to copy line art. 1. It's very hard, almost impossible, and this is not a very good subject for you. Besides, the more you try to copy, the harder it puts on you to actually try and get out of your comfort zone in a new element. Deception. Your eyes and thoughts could deceive you. So just listen to where your heart says to go. Color, be creative. Use colors that complement your emotions during what you feel during when you draw. I do the same, and I always get compliments later on. It's the greatest thing you could do is be proud of your newest creation. Template 3. This is a very important part. Now that you have mastered template 2, where you set boundaries, and 1, where you just learn how to maneuver, we're going back to some of the action now. This is for a little bit advanced, but not too advanced. Now, I'm going to record this part instead of casting this out, because I want you to see how fast my hand moves in making decisions. It's not very fast, is it? But it's still making a decision faster than I could think it. And as soon as my pencil hits the paper, it does come off. But that is just natural. You always take off your page to think of your next action, or else it won't go right. You just gotta listen. Listen to what you think, what you feel, and what you know. Your feelings could be a very beneficial part in art. It's what controls that part of your brain, which can help you later on. You have to better understand what you're doing and what you want to do and who you want to be in this kind of art style. I suggest this art. It's very calming, relieving, and hopeful, and I have a good faith that you will do amazing things in what you want to do. Most people are interested in a different type of art, as in sketching faces. I'm not good at that sort of thing. If I can't get one thing right, it's always another thing. So, I decided to try doing this. As I tried it, I learned actually from someone else. And they told me that this was the best thing they had done for the while that they have been drawing. So I suggest this. And not only will it be calming, relieving, and stressless, it also helps you develop career skills, actually. Because when you're older, you need to be able to move your hands in any direction, and you have to be more comfortable to freestyles, kind of like this. You have to move in any direction without hesitation. And many people who want to draw blueprints for designs, structures, for